On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, boy, are we going to talk about a lot of interesting things from camping to Medora. I didn't really think that we'd be talking about Medora, but we are, and a lot of other things in between. It's a great episode with good guys, good brews, and you, because of course, you matter. We're always glad that you're here. So thanks for being here. When you're here, you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and V. Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that knows if it's Contrails or Chemtrails, but we'll never tell. I am your host, the living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm great. I'm just counting down the days until you actually say something, and then the government will know.
They already know, Kidder. I'm already on several lists.
That's for a different reason. Hey, look, everybody. It's J.S. Gunslinger, America's Most Wanted.
Damn right. And for good reason, too.
How does it feel to be on the do not fly list?
It's okay.
He hates flying anyway.
And a privilege that not everyone gets to have.
Drive.
Hey, why do you think we drive to all of the shows instead of flying?
Because you're cheap.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You have to haul all the equipment with you, right? Yeah, okay.
That's right. We're joined by a great bevy of guests. You've already seen JS, you've already seen Doc, and he hasn't said anything yet. Hopefully his Wi-Fi
He's just lurking in the
week.
comment section.
But also Local Geek is here as well.
I am, and Wi-Fi should work a whole lot better since I'm not on the Wi-Fi anymore.
Yes. Oh, Kidder, I have a feeling this could be an interesting episode. At least I hope it's an interesting episode. And we won't know until we get to everybody's favorite segment of the show, and that is What's on Tap. And I think we should start with Local Geek.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because most of us had a round two, and he didn't last week. So, let's get him started early.
Burying the evidence.
I mean, technically that was round two because I was at the Blarney Stone prior to joining you guys, so I had some beers there.
Whoa. Undocumented.
And why was the rest of the group not invited?
I was out with family. But
Hey,
Are we not family? Are we not family?
Huh?
Guys, I think you're missing the fact that he was out with family and then he buried some bodies. I mean, I might be glad that I'm not family, I'm just saying.
No, he's looking for a new family now.
classic.
Going to Olive Garden later.
Oh,
Hey, need a new family. Can I get some extra meat sauce at this rigatoni? Eh?
I mean, isn't it Never-Ending Pasta Bowl right now?
Probably not by the time this airs. I don't know. Check your regional specials at your local Olive Garden before going.
And if you work for Olive Garden, please sponsor us.
We need money and pasta. What do you have to drink, Local Geek? Anything? Are you out?
I'm having something I believe you brought back from Iowa last time you were there for me. It's the Half Brothers Brewing Company Classic.
That was from Fargo.
Oh, okay.
But better thank me that it's not from Iowa because that was almost a year ago.
I have a lot of beer in my fridge that I need to get through. Not as much as Howard does, but it's to the point I don't remember who brought it or when.
Gonna have to start writing him on the can.
I also have a Golden Willie in there, but
almost popped over because they have a tasting room in Grand Forks when we were there, but we didn't get time. So
Not sure how I feel about that. It's heavier than I was expecting for a golden ale. It's not bad. It's just I was expecting a nice crisp light beer, and it's got some weight to it. Give it. Need another sip.
You should take another one. Just
Give it a 2.4.
for good measure,
let's play a game called Drinky.
we don't do that game.
That was one of the $2 Long Island's games.
That was also the game when we went to Winnipeg and Chris Braden wanted to order me a gin and tonic or something, and they were out of it. So he was like, just pour it straight gin. And I'd never had gin before. And I sipped it, and I was like, that's nasty. And so we're going to play a game called Drinky, and you're just going to down the whole thing. Never again. Chris Braden, may he rest in peace.
I was just going to say, may he rest in peace with all of his gin.
Indeed.
All right, Local Geek is going to simmer on that. He'll get back to us. Potentially modification of the rating later.
Potentially. I give it a 2.4 initially.
Okay. Howard, who's next?
I don't know. JS is walked off somewhere. So Doc, I guess
He's always lurking nearby.
Always.
See, I told you.
There he is. So I've got to start tonight the Ninkasi Gold Premium Lager, brewed and canned in Eugene, Oregon. 5% alcohol by volume. It is a American lager. 18 IBUs. Not impressive. There's really nothing to it. Probably actually give it like a 1.2. It's just kind of meh.
All right. Let's hope somebody can save this segment. And to that, let's go to JS Gunslinger. JS, what are you having?
High alcohol or low alcohol?
I'm always going to say hi, if you ask me.
Then I am going to be having a. There's stuff in this. Hold on, I gotta wash this. There's stuff in it.
That's right, folks. Welcome to Beer Blues and BS, the most prepared and professional podcast on the internet. I swear we're not just winging it.
We would never do that. Okay.
Hey, at least it reassures them that none of this is scripted. So
It's like the CAPTCHA on there to make sure that you're getting the full human experience.
exactly, you're getting us exactly as we are, even if we don't want you to.
So I am going to start off with some Hairy Man by Crooked Furrow.
Whoa.
It is a American blended bourbon whiskey, 80 proof, 40%. It is
Harry?
extraordinary character, laid back and smooth, just like the Hairy Man himself.
But
Tales of
by
Grand-
definition, a hairy man is not smooth.
I'm just interested that he washed his glass before he put a hairy man in it.
Tales of Grand
It's a
Adventure.
hairy man. It's a hairy man.
Tales of Grand Adventures accompany the lore of the Hairy Man as he hangs loose on the trails near our adopted hometown of Burgess, Minnesota. This small batch American blended bourbon whiskey is affectionately named the official whiskey of the Hairy Man Festival. Here's proof. A nationally awarded local distillery. This is made by the Proof Distillers, artisan distillers in Fargo. You can't read it because my camera's terrible. This is out of Fargo, North Dakota. This is from Proof Distillers. I've been really impressed with this stuff. It's actually pretty smooth. It's relatively cheap. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with my communist glass because it's just cool. Do. 1, 2. Well, what the hell? 3.
Floor.
All right, 3 of those, and we're gonna go with the cane sugar simple that I just made. It's still warm, so it's gonna throw the flavor off a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna go 3-1 with a little bit of simple in there. Wasn't quite a full shot. It was close, but not quite a full shot. And then we're gonna go with good old-fashioned Angostura bitters. So now I have orange bitters and I have the standard Angostura. I'm going to do the orange bitters because I don't have real orange zest here. So I'm going to cheat, get that little bit of orange zest out of the bitters here. So I'm going to go 3 dashes of Angostura and 3 light dashes of orange, and then finish it off two full ice cubes, a little bit of mix, with a golden spoon because that's what it deserves. And just for Kidder, I'm not going to add a cherry.
I'm disappointed in JS.
Get the hell out of here.
Indeed.
All right. Here's to capitalism. Yeah. That is good. So the Hairy Man's a nice, smooth overall whiskey. It's not a fancy whiskey by any means, but it's just a good general purpose, barback whiskey. The cane sugar simple really kind of adds a whole nother flavor to it with that dark cane sugar flavor. So you can really change the flavor like that. Like any good old fashioned, you've got the Angosturas in there. I'm not Rachel, so I can't do the fancy muddling and all the fancy things that she can do. But cheers.
All right. Kidder, I think that brings it over to you. What you having, good sir?
Oh, well, let's open this bad boy up here and take a look.
Kidder, I believe there might have been a birthday bottle in that mystery package you got today.
Yes, there was. It's upstairs.
Oh, fail me again.
You're not here to crack it open, okay? Reasons. Probably I'm gonna do this one because this is going to be rough. I'm guessing it's from Howard because he was talking about being in a cidery mood. An American Apple Imperial Hard Cider, 8% gluten-free, made in the U.S. of apple gross cider. Made by friends and shared with neighbors, beginning with a unique blend of apple varieties. Oh, sorry, not varieties. It's varietals. Okay. American apple is crafted to represent our farming heritage. The Imperial Hard Cider offers balanced sweetness and contains no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. The result of using real fruit is pure, uncompromised taste, and one that pays homage to our roots. For over 75 years, Blake Farms has taken pride in being true stewards of cider, offering an adventurous exploration of fruit and fermentation. We strive to enhance the American craft experience. There it is for yourself if you want to look and read the fine print. 12 fluid ounces. Oh, look at that. It's 100% fresh pressed American apples. Cider with a story. BlakesHardCider.com if you want to get a story.
I'm glad to see that you have that, Kidder, because I didn't know if JS was ever going to bring you that box of ciders.
It was a combination of both of us. Okay, stop it.
Hey, I delivered it last week. Okay, not my fault. He's just bringing it on the show today.
Ugh.
Judging by the face, I don't think he likes it.
So I don't like apple pie or apple cider or any of this, and so this is going to be a long 12 ounces. If I had to rate it for my scale, 0.6.
Kidder, I have to ask for this clarification. Okay. On the whole, like, which is worse, apples or cherry? Like, where does that fall? You know, which one is worse than the other? Apples or
cherries
cherry?
are worse. Cherries are worse. It'll ruin it. Yes. I just don't enjoy apple cider.
I just bought a gallon of it today at Sam's Club, so
I'm sure that's going to be good.
actually it ain't bad.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to send you JS. I have a pretty killer recipe for wassail, which involves apple cider and such. It's good. I make a big batch of it every year for Christmas. Then we just leave it like on the stove on a low simmer like all day.
Okay.
People just go and refill their glasses as they want it. It's excellent. I'll have to dig that out.
I made a pretty wicked batch of accidental apple cider one year, and I've never been able to recreate it. We made fresh press apple cider, and then we left it in a 5-gallon jug for about 9 months in the fridge, and it turned to wine, and it was wonderful. But, you know, I can find a charger. I'll be right back.
Several years ago, when I worked in Chicago, which I was only there for 1 year, I had a colleague who would host a holiday party at his house. And the only thing he would make is the eggnog, and everybody else bring whatever. And I remember thinking, like, the only thing he's going to make, it was like the best eggnog ever. And he made like a giant like pot of it. And that was the only thing people needed to drink all night long. It was so good.
Yeah. I have a brother-in-law who I don't really care for. He lived with us for a while, and
It's a side note.
Yeah. And
Get to the good part.
he made apple pie one year for Christmas on our stove, but he overboiled it, so it boiled over the pot and all over the stove and all of that. It's the only year we ever let him do that. And then that's just one of many stories I could tell. But gentlemen, I am having for my drinking for this episode. This is the reward beer for completing IPA Appreciation Month. I'm finally getting to it. But it is from the Boulevard Brewing Company in delicious collaboration with Whitman's. It is their More S'mores Barrel Aged Stout.
Ooh, that looks good.
It is 8.2% alcohol by volume. It is 1 full pint. And the only other thing that's really kind of worth reading on the can is they put this thing at the top that says, after s'more, you want s'more, and after s'more, you want s'more, and after s'more, you want... you could get lost in...
Until you say no more s'mores, no more s'mores.
Yeah. It's got a very nice chocolatey scent to it.
Is it as chocolatey as the alcoholic chocolate milk?
I mean, I think this is really good.
I thought it was worse. Your alcoholic chocolate milk was really good.
Yeah.
I like this better. Because this has a nice chocolate, like sweetness note right off the get-go, but it has a beautiful marshmallow aftertaste that just follows. You know, you don't get much of a real graham cracker, but I don't know that you need it. But it's got that chocolate, it's got that marshmallow, it's a dark beer, it's 8.2%, so that's fun. And I'm gonna rate this like a 4.7. This is gonna be an enjoyable thing for me to sip all evening.
But does it have the boots with the fur?
No idea.
How about the apple bottom jeans? Does it have that?
I don't know, but all I can really tell you is that the quality of this show is just sinking low.
It's the whole club just looking at her.
Yep. Is the whole club looking at it? No, our whole 3 viewers are probably looking at it, or we're looking at it.
Hey, we've actually we had a pretty good month last month for viewage. So we were up.
5 views. Oh, we're moving up in the world.
We almost doubled.
I mean, for like a full month, we're talking probably closer to like 146 views for the month.
How many of them were Derek? 140, 145?
And that's not even really counting shorts, because some of the shorts have done really well lately.
The CJS finished making a simple syrup, so he took his camper to the beach and is hanging out there.
I'm embarrassed by the state of my kitchen, so now that I can't face it at the ceiling anymore, I'm gonna go to the beach and go have some hairy man in my communist glass.
Whoa, you're gonna have a hairy man on the beach. All right.
That is a very different van from what I'm used to seeing from you.
With my Airstream.
You know, my parents had an Airstream when we were growing up. That was a fun camper.
They're coming back now. Those retro campers have really made a comeback.
Yeah.
So, which I think is cool, because those I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm off base, but those behemoth like trailer houses on wheels are not camping. Oh, we're gonna go camping. No, you're gonna go stay in an $80,000 trailer house for a week or for a weekend and call it camping. You're gonna spend most of the day setting up the damn thing, get 5 hours in front of a campfire, and then spend the entire day on Sunday tearing down the damn thing and cleaning it back up so you can make your 5-hour drive back to your house.
And don't forget that you need then the very large pickup truck to haul said large trailer.
Yes.
The last few times that we've been camping, the number of like spots that we've been at where like the trailer takes up the whole camping pad, and then you have the person who's kind of got their truck like half on the road, half off the road, because they can't pull the truck into their spot because everything is too damn big.
Yep.
I believe that's glamping, correct?
No, glamping is even worse. Glamping, you got like a whole like cottage and like maid service, and like glamping is like a hotel stay, but like at a cabin in the woods.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I've got my 25-year-old van that, gets around, and we do just fine.
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I, we have talked about, because I enjoy camping. But if we were to ever get a camper, which we might, because, we're getting old and sleeping on the ground in a tent is getting hard. But like the most that we would probably do is something along the lines of like one of those pop-up tent campers.
Yeah.
You really need a place to sleep where there's no bugs,
Yep.
and that's about it.
I enjoy the van camping because I have enough room to sleep in there comfortably. If I had ours set up a little bit better, we'd have an AC in there so we could run the AC. So at least when you're sleeping, it's not 97 degrees. I know it's a luxury. We've made it work just with fans before, and it's just fine. And then having a place to cook if it's raining. That's the nice place, the nice part. But even with ours, ours isn't big. You can fit 3 people in there comfortably, and that's it. 4, you're stepping on each other. So, I ain't gonna have 15 people in the camper having a party because I don't want to be 97 feet long. I took the in-laws camper one year, and we went to a wedding. They had a toy hauler. I pulled up next to a Sweetheart Bakery semi, and with the pickup and camper, I was longer than the damn bread truck and semi. Without the boat hooked to the back of it on top of it.
Yeah. My parents, when I moved out to Dickinson for a year while I was managing the chateau, they realized we lost our dog sitter. So when we travel, they hated trying to find a hotel that would let them take dogs in. So they bought an RV, but they bought a fairly small, RV. They didn't get one of those big monstrosities. So they have an RV for when they travel to things like that. But yeah, it's not super huge. It's, kind of the size of a large van, truthfully, but it allows them to travel with the dogs pretty well. But yeah, some of those campgrounds, yeah, you go through them and the campers that they have, it's just like, oh my gosh. You could live out of that pretty comfortably.
Been looking at building out a new van, and last week I priced out a brand new dually high top extended length Ford Transit van with a bare interior, but the heavy axle in the back, dual tires, the ambulance package with the upfitter package, and the dual alternators in it. It doesn't come with the lights or anything, but it's got the power hookups. It's got the extra 12-volt hookups. It's got the inverters that come with it. So some of the stuff for me is already done. So it's just a little bit less work I got to do. $70,000 for a bare van with just with the handful of upgrades that I put on it.
I think that's because there's still such a big thing for the van life experience, and you're still seeing so many people who, they're getting all these remote jobs, and that's what they do is they build out a van and they live out of their van and they travel professionally.
Yep.
Kidder, do you remember Shuey?
Yes.
Yeah. That year I was at Dickinson, he lived with me as a roommate who never paid rent. Long story, but he hit a deer with his little car, and he was really worried about if he was going to just do the body work to fix it or get a new vehicle. And at the time, in one of the car dealerships in Dickinson, there was an old ambulance, and I kept trying to convince him that you should get the ambulance. I'd be like, it'd be great, you have all this extra storage. You could put a little bed in the back, so when you go to school, because he was going to DSU, if you in between classes, if you want to take a nap, you could just open your ambulance. And he hated that. I bugged the crap out of him for the better part of 8 months. Every time we drove past, I'm like, hey, the ambulance is still there. You interested? Somebody finally bought it, and I had to oh man, they took your ambulance. He's like, stop. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm at this point with as expensive as the damn things are. I'm considering buying a used ambulance. It's got everything I need in there already. It's already got the high top, the extended length, and I'll just rip the cabinets or keep most of the cabinets in there, make a bed and a sink, and add some electrical, and be good to go.
yeah, plenty of storage.
Yeah,
Already built in. I mean,
yeah.
I would think an ambulance would be could be a pretty nice ride for something like that. But yeah.
Yep. And if you can, find them with 80 to 100,000 miles on them, which for some people is a lot. For me, that's just the beginning. You get them for 20 grand or less, and yeah, run them for another 100,000 miles, and then sell it for $100 and start over.
Yeah. Now that I have 3 kids, the wife and I were looking for a larger vehicle that we can safely put all 3 car seats in and such. And there's a part of me that is really upset. When I was just starting to drive, one of my dad's college buddies, he had, I wish I could remember the make and model of what this thing was. But it was like a bus crossed with a station wagon. So technically it was a station wagon, but it had 4 rows of seats in it. And they called it, the car had the nickname of Al. And the only other feature that I really can remember on it was it had a golf club welded to the top of it. And they used to take it in parades and such. The gentleman who owned it, when I started to drive, he was moving out of state, and he wanted to give it to me to drive. And my dad and I, we went up and we looked at it. My dad decided, it's too much work to fix it up, so he passed on it. And there's a part of me that's like, I wish we would have actually done it and done the work on it, because it would have been a pretty cool ride to have today and drive around. I mean, and I was in high school. Imagine going to college. It's like, hey guys, I got 4 rows of seats. I can haul everybody. Hop in.
Oh yeah, I've got the perfect vehicle for you. I've got a 92 Mazda pickup.
You've tried this before.
3 seat belts in the back. It's got 2 captain's chairs in the front. Manual, a 5-speed, gets 28 miles to the gallon. You couldn't ask for a better vehicle.
I didn't take this up the last time you offered it to me. I'm not gonna. Maybe talk to me when I finish this thing. That 8.2%. But right now I'm sober enough to say no.
On the driver's seat, so the passenger seat's the only one that reclines. And currently, you have to. My thumbprint scanner stopped working, so now I have to lift the door handle and punch the door to get it to work.
You are really selling this vehicle.
It's super secure because no one can get the doors open. You can just leave the keys in it. I've just been leaving the windows down and just opening it from the inside because it's easier.
That's one of those you're just hoping somebody steals.
But
It's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. No, I have looked every now and then to try and find, and I probably could ask my dad, but then I'd have to answer questions about why I wanted to know. But I have tried to find what that vehicle was that his buddy had, and I've never had much luck in that research. So
I got a 2005 extended cab pickup. I'll sell you super cheap. I don't have a title for it, but it runs great.
It's all right.
Also has 3 seat belts in the back.
Yeah, it's all right. We're still looking. The wife's trying to decide what she wants. So
We've been pretty happy with that Pathfinder that we have. We've got a 2018, something like that, Nissan Pathfinder, we've been super happy with it. The thing handles like a sports car, and it's got plenty of room in it. Gets okay-ish mileage. It's 20 to 22, depending on which one of us is driving. It ain't phenomenal by any means, but it gets around good, and we've driven that thing all the way across the country numerous times, and had good luck with it.
Yeah, I think she is fairly sold on the idea of getting a Toyota, because our little Toyota Matrix that we've had, it's a 2009, and in all these years, like, we have maybe had to do major maintenance on it like maybe 3 times. Like, we've had an alternator go out. We had a belt fall off and start on fire. There's an episode of this show about that because it happened. So I'll link.
Yeah.
You'll see. But yeah, I mean, but overall, like, we have that, and then our other vehicle is a 2009 Nissan Murano, and we have put way more into that Murano than we have ever paid into the Matrix. I don't think you could sell my wife on buying another Nissan after the Murano. It's
the smaller ones had some issues. It seems like the bigger, like the full size ones were a little bit more reliable, but the smaller, more compact ones had a little bit more problems. But the in-laws have a Toyota SUV too. They seem to like it. My father-in-law complains because it's not nearly as fast as the Nissan was. I will say that Nissan is a rocket for being a soccer mom mobile. It is not slow.
Yeah, but I'm not looking to be a super fast driver. I'm
not either. It's just really fun to beat up on the college kids or the high schoolers that have the girlfriend in there and they're in their fancy cars, and they get waxed by a soccer mom mobile.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't really do that because listen, there's a reason I'm the living embodiment of Charlie Brown. I think I'm the only one here who's I'm probably pretty safe to say I'm the only one here who's got an exhibition driving ticket on his license.
You've only got one?
Yeah.
I think I've had 3.
Yeah, but were you trying to do exhibition driving? I wasn't.
Oh yeah, I very much. I was making a U-turn in the parking lot 27 times.
20. There it is.
Yeah. No, mine I got because I was a teenager on prom night. That's why I got mine.
There are a lot worse things that can happen as a teenager on prom night than getting a driving ticket.
I know. So I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but this is episode 234. I don't really want to go and look up where I last told it. So when I learned to drive with a 1986 Jeep Cherokee Laredo. That you could floor the damn thing and it still would just slowly accelerate. It had no get up and go. And so I just got very in the habit of just flooring the thing every time because it didn't matter. I just floored it. So prom night comes around and it's me, my date. I was doing a solid for some friends of mine because they had another couple that wanted to tag along with them, and they didn't want that couple to tag along. I'm like, I'll invite them to tag along with us and take that hit for you guys. So I was being a nice guy. So it was me and my date, this other couple. And my mom just decided to be really nice. She's like, hey, we just bought this brand new Chevy Yukon. Why don't you take the Yukon? It's nicer than your Laredo. So end of the night, I'm in the Century parking lot. All I'm doing is with where I was parked, because I was in the back lot, I was just trying to back up and then I was going to pull out, basic little turn. Got going too fast because I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was not used to this car. So I whipped that thing 180 degrees. Just I was sitting there like, hey, everybody okay? I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to do that. And the person I was with, who there's a reason why he was, well, the other couple asked me to take the hit for him. He's like, well, you're not all right, because he saw it. There was a Burleigh County sheriff sitting right across the street over at TCVY, and they lit me up instantly. And I tried to explain, I'm not used to driving this car, but I was a kid on prom night, and they was pretty sure I was trying to impress my date. So I got an $86 exhibition driving ticket.
I still don't know how it was $86 for the record.
I know. My memory,
and I wasn't even there.
No,
damn inflation.
I mean, Kidder, you were with me the last time I got pulled over, so
that is true.
All of you were with me the last time, so
No, as were all the viewers and listeners.
Yeah.
One of my exhibitions, me and a buddy of mine were screwed around and was the school parking lot, and I was doing donuts in the parking lot in my '83 Chevy Impala, former police car, and also my grandmother's car. But we had fixed it and tuned it a little bit, so it was fun. I tried to explain to him that we were just turning around in the parking lot. He's like, 27 times. That's how many times I counted you turned around. Well, yeah. and then you continued to turn around all the way down the street for 3 blocks. I mean, it was slippery.
It's called churning cookies. You can use the proper term.
Yeah, he wasn't having it. I did my best.
Maybe if you had said you weren't turning cookies, but you were turning donuts, he would have.
I just said I had to turn around. We pulled in the parking lot to turn around.
Just forgot to turn the wheel back.
The steering wheel stuck. The steering lock. I don't know.
He was 20 years early for a roundabout.
Oh. The problem with that, though, is that he seemed to actually know how a roundabout works, because today most people don't.
Well, there's that.
That is so true. I think if most people knew how to drive a roundabout, Kidder might not actually hate roundabouts. He just
we have them all over here. Like, it's like their big thing in residential neighborhoods to try and slow down traffic. But it's just it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's like, why? And then, like, where we used to live, like where I lived a few years ago, they had the roundabouts, and then at some point they started putting in these blockades so that in certain places you actually can't use the full roundabout because part of it is blocked. And then it makes it even worse because, like, people get into the roundabout, like, oh, I can't go that way. I have to go the other way. I'm like, why don't we just go back to normal streets, normal traffic patterns, and
put in a traffic light?
Or, if you're really concerned about speed, put in a speed bump. Like that
traffic light.
Well, I mean, in the smaller residential neighborhoods,
in the middle of the road, in the middle of the block, a traffic light.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
not everybody.
Not everybody wants a traffic light. I sat through the city commission meeting where they were trying to, like, they brought it up to the folks of Medora about putting in a round. They wanted to put in like 3 roundabouts, and the townsfolk were like, our next option is a stoplight. You guys don't really want that. That doesn't fit with your Wild West, feel, and we don't like that either.
A roundabout doesn't fit with the Wild West feel either, though. Like Wild West, we do what we want when we want to.
I mean, I hate to say it.
Well, it's wild.
I will take this hit, but the Medora tries to play itself off as historic Wild West, but it is Hollywood Wild West. It is
tourist trap.
Yeah, I mean there are now 2 media projects centered around it, because there's the Elkhorn series that portrays Teddy Roosevelt and his time out in Medora, and as that, but there's a local film professor out at the University of Mary who has produced a movie called Empress of the Badlands, which is all about Madame de Morez. And they both, their sets are very like Hollywood Wild West. And our big fear is, especially with the Empress of the Badlands one, I read the pitch for that because they did some filming at our site. And they say based on true events. And I mean, they got some names. They got like some events, but it's not very historically accurate.
They were based on true events. They just didn't say which ones.
Yeah, it's really pretty bad, and we're trying to now prep our staff for in the coming years when people come up like, oh yeah, I saw this movie or I saw this series, and it makes me come out here. So we don't go, oh yeah, well that's a piece of that lied to you. Here's the true story. How do we say that in a nice way? But
you don't. Hollywood tried to make a movie and they're morons, and this is what really happened.
Yeah, except this isn't Hollywood. It's a local guy, and he's the same person who's put out right now. You probably have seen this stuff for the Hazel Minor story. So that's the big one that he's got out right now.
Oh,
well, and even even when you visit Medora, like there's all kinds of like you can't really immerse yourself in the history. I remember when I worked at Fort Lincoln, there was always sort of the joke about how like when you come to Fort Lincoln, you can actually go in the rooms of the houses and actually experience things. Whereas Medora, it's like they put glass on the doors and you can't actually go in. You can look in, but you can't actually go in. So do you truly experience history there? But
yeah. Well, and it's fun if you ever want a good laugh. Reading the Medora zoning laws is a hoot. It's amazing. Like
all kinds of ridiculous rules.
Oh yeah, like down to like what fonts you can have for like signage. It has to be a Western font, but not an overly cartoony Western font, and only so many signs of a certain font. We don't want to overload it. Like there was a store that was out of South Dakota, out of Spearfish, South Dakota. It was this outdoor goods store, hiking boots and backpacks and things that would be great by a national park. And they had to go through zoning to put up their signage. And the big hullabaloo was that the color blue was in their sign. And so one of the guys from zoning was driving around town finding all of the signs that had blue in it to go, no, look, we've allowed blue signs before. But there were people who were like, no, we can't allow them to have this logo that is their company logo because there's blue in it. I mean, it
have blue in the logos out there?
Yeah. That was controversial. What? Because they have some real messed up takes on what is historical. They a couple years ago now, they redid the community center, which is kind of their town hall. Mm-hmm. And I sat in on some of the meetings where they were discussing this redesign that they were going to do on the outside. And everybody in there wanted rustic barnwood for the siding. And one of the zoning commissioners actually said, I think we should just have, just some nice white siding. That would be, and like he got burned alive in the comments of people because they're like, oh, it's not historic. That's not. If you actually look back at the historic photos and accounts of Medora at the time of the marquee and such was there, almost all the buildings, if they weren't brick, they were white siding. That was the thing. So the guy was actually saying what was historically correct, but it wasn't historically correct in their Wild West version of the town. It's It's crazy. Medora politics is just crazy.
I remember we went on a little tour of when we were out there, and they were like super critical of skylining because you can't like disrupt the skyline. But there's one guy that got it to work because he put up like dome-shaped houses and then painted them like tan, and that you like couldn't hardly even see them. And you know, that was he was the exception because he took all this time and money and effort to make it look natural.
Yeah, the cell phone tower that sits above the town was a huge, again, another controversial issue. You're ruining the skyline with this cell phone tower.
I always get a good chuckle out of the fact that people are like, "Oh my gosh, like go to the Medora musical and experience Medora," and I was like, nothing they ever do in that show has anything to do with what life was actually like in Medora at the time.
No, not even.
So
Often broke out into song and dance, you know,
all the time, you know, walking down the street, yeah. But even still, like the storylines that they do year to year, like I'm like, that's not factual.
Oh,
They have songs between the mid-street shootouts and the drawing competitions that they would have. Yeah, you know that.
oh, they don't even do those anymore.
No, no.
But I remember the first time I went to the Medora musical. My wife's family dragged me along, and I was a kid. They thought I would enjoy it, and I remember, you know, like the amphitheater. I saw it. It's like, man, this is a cool
It's
set.
very cool. Yeah. Oh, it's totally cool.
I'm like, I'm like, look at these. These are like full-sized buildings. You can see that there's interiors. This is going to be a great show. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. I didn't realize it was really just a country music review, and it's just singing. Yeah. They don't do anything with that set, and I'm just like, what is this? There is no storyline, and
There's no story that makes any coherent sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and the year that I was out, the first year that they took me to it, it was some anniversary of Harold Schaefer and his work out there. So the whole thing was about Harold Schaefer. So as the non-North Dakotan who could care less about who Harold Schaefer was, I'm like,
North Dakotans don't really care either, but okay.
Yeah, unless you were part of the Theodore Roosevelt Medora Foundation, and then he's a big hero.
And Mr. Bobble.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not saying that he wasn't a nice guy or anything like that.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
totally. Yeah.
And the town is thriving because of him. I will totally concede those points. But, you know.
But to the layperson, you're like, why do I care? Yeah.
Right. And it felt just a little too patting themselves on the back, you know. It's just, yeah.
I enjoyed the musical for what it is. I know a lot of this. Like, I'm kind of like, you know, I'm into the history stuff too. So it's like I know a lot of the historical background in it, and I know it's a lot of bull. But I enjoy it for what it is. It's a good.
Yeah, it's an entertaining show. It absolutely is an entertaining show.
Yeah, like so.
I just always mock at people who are like, "Oh, I learned so much," and I was like, "You learned nothing."
Yeah, no, you did not learn anything. You had a good time. You did not learn anything.
One of my favorite Medora stories, when I worked at the Science Center, one of the young men who worked for me, he hated Medora. And part of it was that his brother was in this band, and they would perform out there. And so he and his family drug him to Medora like every year, and he hated, like, there was nothing for him. He's like, it's not a town that appeals to him. And so I knew his feelings on it. And one day I was in the office, and we had our fundraising consultant there, because this is when we were working on building the new building. And this young man, Ezra, walked in, and he knew she was important. Right? He knew. He didn't know who she was, but he knew she was important. And we were talking about Medora, and he walks in, and I couldn't help myself. I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, Ezra here, it's his favorite place, you know, in the world. And you just watch like Ezra like perk up, like, oh, I get to talk about something I like, because he was a curmudgeon. And so the fact that I was like, anything that he was interested in, And he's like, you can see that he was like, okay, what is this? What are you talking about? I'm ready to talk. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, Ezra just loves going to Medora. And you watch him, like, you watch just like all joy fade from his face as he knows this is an important person. I need to say something good about Medora. And he stumbled for like 2 minutes trying to like express some sort of love and joy for this place. It's like, well, I mean, people really seem to enjoy it, and it's got an atmosphere, and there's ice cream, and that's pretty good. And and he drug that on, and after about like 2 minutes, he just goes, "I hate Medora." The office, and I'm just sitting there laughing at it. It was a great setup, but it was good times.
You done good, Howie. You done good.
I had to keep my staff on their toes, and especially I liked Ezra. I mean, he was the world's biggest curmudgeon about everything, but he was the person, like, most likely, like, on the weekends they were supposed to come in and get the keys to open up the building, and he would forget constantly. Like, I one time had breakfast at the McDonald's that was closest to the Science Center because I knew I was going to get a call that he had grabbed the keys. So I once went on vacation. This is why I don't mind picking on Ezra. I went on vacation. I had an assistant, and I told my assistant, I told everybody, I'm like, I'm going on vacation. If you have a problem, call my assistant. Call Jonah. Just call Jonah. He's the person. He will handle everything while I'm gone. And I kid you not, like day 2 of my vacation, I get a call from Ezra. Yeah, I'm locked out of the building. I can't get in. Well, call Jonah. Well, can't you just come let me in? No, I can't. Call Jonah. But I need into the building. I'm like, Ezra, I'm halfway up a mountain, a state away from you. It's going to take me like 7 hours to get there. Call Jonah, and I hung up on him. So I didn't mind every now and then just getting him back for that. So
yeah, my staff forgets what to do when we leave, even though they've been doing the same thing the entire year when we're there. But we leave, and they're like, we don't know what to do when you're gone. Continue doing the same thing you did last week, and it will go fine. Yeah. I love them. We have a great staff. But sometimes I want to murder all of them.
My wife and I are going through that with our kids. We have done the same bedtime routine for years. And every night it's a, go do this, this, and this. Well, I forgot. I'm like, we do this every night. You know the routine. Like, it's a routine. Just...
Kudos to you for having a bedtime routine, because right now our bedtime routine could be 8:30. It could be midnight 30 for our kids, and they just roll with it. And I don't know how they're as amazing as they are, but yeah, to the parents that have that like routine down to a science, kudos to you, because we have tried for 13 years and have not been able to do it.
Oh, I mean, we try for a routine. We don't. We're hardly ever successful, but we're trying. We're trying so hard to establish routine. And speaking of routines, Kidder, we've been talking for quite a while. I mean, you haven't. It's kind of been me and JS a lot. But it's time we wrap this show up. Some cheap plugs, maybe a few more laughs, some final thoughts.
Yeah, I've just been trying to drink this thing.
Are you still struggling on that thing?
Yep.
Just chug it.
I told you, Apple. Yeah.
You're in the house. The earth is not trying to kill you. Just drink it.
If it makes you feel better, Kidder, I think that's the only apple cider that was in that box. Ugh.
I haven't gotten to that cider yet. To be honest with you, I just opened that cider box tonight.
I figured.
It's been a year.
Hey, it's okay. It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway,
Half the episodes we do, I'm in another state. So
that's fine. It'll be there when you get back.
yes. Next week.
Started off on such a high note last week, and just progressively straight off into the trash. So, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. Please like us. YouTube, watch the video versions. YouTube podcast, listen to the versions. Also, Tron is out. Got to go see Tron movie. See how Jared Leto screws it up.
Never got into any of the Tron series. Never seen a single one.
Well, the original Tron was a laughing pile of hilarity, and bitchin' special effects for its time in the 80s. But Tron Legacy, fantastic. Plus, Olivia Wilde. Just gonna say, it was a good movie. Soundtrack was awesome. Daft Punk, very good. But new one, we'll see how it is. And Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails making the soundtrack to the new Tron movie. So hopefully it will be good. We'll be good. Speaking of good, liking our stuff, sharing our stuff. Sharing is caring. Local Geek has been sharing stuff. That's cool. What are you pointing at? The kegerator? Is that something you're going to share?
Fermenter. It has stuff ready to go in a keg.
Mm.
Probably
Yay,
gonna do more.
Winter is coming. Okay.
And I have more beer to brew coming up. Shut up! I've been drinking.
Aha. Wonderful.
You have more brew to beer. Yes. I love it.
Okay. Looking forward to that. And there's a teaser for the next insert episodes here.
It's been teased for like 3 months.
Yeah. So like the next episode or something.
Yeah, it's finally coming to fruition.
Oh, better not be any fruit in that.
This one is not fruited. The next one will be.
Yay.
You're welcome, Howard. Even though you bring me all this kind of like bull beer with us.
Sharing the misery together.
I didn't see you drinking it.
Drink what? Did I drink
Like any of it.
I drank all the IPAs.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't make you drink Black O-Lantern. Remember that crap? I could have made you drink that.
If I find that at a store, that will be on the show again.
Don't even know. But what I do know is that you need to send us your money at streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. Streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. We would love for you to subscribe for as little as $1 a month and help quench the thirst of a thirsty podcast host and keep this thing running. Maybe that's why nobody gives us money, is because they want this to stop.
Fair point.
Interesting. Anyway, that's about that. So Facebook, Instagram, all of the socials, which is the two that I mentioned, and then all of the audio platforms like Pandora. How about Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, IMDb, Player FM, YouTube Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more podcast places that rip us off and don't get us the numbers that we need. But again, search for us everywhere, all of the places. Beer Blues BS, just search for that on all of the places. And we hope that you join us for another episode. potentially soon will be on the Town Square platform.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Adding us to another 800 some markets or something like that. Not that many. There aren't that many markets in the country. But we're global. Anyway.
Hey.
It's kind of like an STD. But I broke JS. So yes, that's pretty much it for the show. Like, help us, please. We really want you to help us. So let's go some final thoughts, and let's go around the other way. Local Geek looks like he's about to pass out from his 32 beers that he pre-gamed with a non-invitation last week, but we also are still alive to tell the story. So, Local Geek, final thoughts for us this week.
Well, I already touched on it. Beer fermenting. New beer needs to be brewed shortly before the weather gets too cold, as you mentioned earlier. So hopefully I'll get out and get the mini DNA done, but I'll get this one kegged up, and I'll probably get you guys some bottles of that and the clone that it belongs with, so that we can try them side by side on the show and see how well I did.
12 out of 10. Appreciate that, Local Geek. All right, then we better go out west to Doc, who is sitting in some kind of coffee cafe. There's the croissant on the countertop.
He's sipping his soy milk and chugging the IPAs.
It's all vegan up in here. Yeah. So last week I mentioned the fact that I stopped making excuses and joined a choir, and an extension of that is an interesting development that we learned this week is that our choir will be performing in May over Memorial Day weekend at Carnegie Hall in New York City. And so for most people who are classically trained musicians, like, it's always a dream to get to Carnegie Hall. And so this is an opportunity that never would have occurred had I not stopped making excuses and said, yeah, I'm ready to join a choir. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a really, really cool opportunity. And so it's just underscoring the fact that, stop making excuses and do what you need to do, and things that you don't expect will show up. So
sorry if we distracted you for a second there in your very impactful final thoughts, because you touched on classically trained and wanting to perform at Carnegie Hall. And Howard and I happen to have performed on Carnegie Hall stage itself and couple years ago.
Yeah, and I never have, so it's kind of cool to finally have that opportunity. So,
which is surprising to me.
Yeah, I know. We will be premiering a 6-song cycle for choir and strings that was written by our conductor, with members of our choir, the local university choir, as well as some choirs from Idaho. So it'll be about 120 voices, and the New England String Symphony. So I'm really looking forward to it, even though it's still several months away. So
you're gonna do fine. It's gonna be great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Send us a picture.
Oh, I will.
Have a slice of New York pizza.
It's also nice too, because for the past few years, for other reasons, I've had a trip to New York City around that time. And this year that wasn't going to be the case because things have changed. And so this is also an opportunity for me to get back to New York in the late spring, early summer for other reasons. So
good reasons are good.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. JS, you look like you have a little bit of something to say.
Kind of.
Careful, you don't want to block the view of the sunset or your van.
I know. I don't know how to undo this. You move all. Okay, there we go.
Whoa! Where did you come from?
Right ceiling. Okay, so for the men that are watching this and or the women, buy good kitchen knives. And what I mean by that is don't go to Walmart and buy yourself a cheap, crappy POS set of kitchen knives. Get yourself, if you're going to be a kitchen aficionado or whatever, however the hell you say that word, get yourself some good kitchen knives. So this is the Victorinox. This is it's a decent one, but it's a good meat knife. Okay, get yourself some good quality kitchen knives. Okay, here's a Wusthof, one of their weighted balanced handles. This is the 7-inch chef's knife. Get yourself some good kitchen knives. And on top of that, even if you want to buy the cheap kitchen knives, get yourself a good pocket knife. I have had this particular pocket knife for upwards of 10 years now. And this thing to me is absolutely priceless. Don't go to Walmart and buy the $5 pocket knife. Spend a little bit of money, get something that's going to last, and learn how to use it. Like, this has been a pry bar, this has been a screwdriver, this is unjammed bailers, this has cut seat belts and people out of car wrecks. This has helped me break into my own building several times when I forgot my keys. Like, this thing has saved my butt more times than I can even count. So get yourself a good pocket knife and learn how to be efficient with it. That's what I got for you. And learn how to sharpen. Don't use a bench grinder on your knives.
Yeah, by the way, JS, I'll be stopping by at some point. I got a couple for you.
Yeah.
Howard Blues! He's got comments.
Well, not so much comments, Kidder, but I thought we should mention, and we've had a pretty good episode, and I hate to bring the tone down, but I think we would all want to say and send kind of our well wishes out to a person who has constantly been on the show, and that is the Midnight Rocker. I don't know if you saw this, Kidder, but earlier tonight he posted that his father had been diagnosed with leukemia. So they're dealing with that and all that. I don't want to get into too many details, but just to put it out there, for all of us here at the Triple B family, that Midnight Rocker, he's been on the show, he's a good friend of the show, big supporter of ours, and so we just sending thoughts, prayers, love, well wishes, all of that to him, and hope that he and his family can get through this. My brother went through leukemia back when we were in college, and that was a tough fight. And so I'm hoping that all goes well for the Midnight Rocker.
Absolutely echo that sentiment. And I mean, again, don't want to get down on the episode or anything, or end it really on a low note, but coming up as we're recording it today, on the 9-year anniversary of Leslie and Gil being killed in the line of duty in Palm Springs, California. And so we send their well wishes and thoughts to their family and friends, still remembering them every day, still to this day. So can't let another year go by without mentioning them or saying their sacrifice and what they had done for their community and their families and everything, not being forgotten. because we definitely don't want to forget about them on this show. And of course, for more detailed look into it and my commentary on this time of year, you can go back a few episodes and get the full explanation of what happened. But just remember that there are those out there serving all of us who we may never even know, but will have a personal touch in our lives. So we thank them for being part of our lives without even knowing it. So on this note, that note, and every other note, for Local Geek, the Triple B Brewmaster, for Doc, the Knowledge Master of the Triple B, for JS Gunslinger, yes, obviously Gunslinger of the Triple B and the Triple B Armorer, and for Howard Blues, the insert something trying to be witty here from the Triple B Troller, Big D. I'm still Mark Kidder. Thanks for being here for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. Remember, keep your glass at least half full. There's free beer tomorrow, and we will catch you on down that non-snow-filled Tuscan Highway. Have a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
All right. Break between shows. Chance to do whatever you need to do before we start the next episode.
Whatever we need to do, because I mean that can mean a lot of things.
I mean, keep it legal, JS. Keep it legal.
Probably fixing his mute.
Well, if you know, you know.
I-21, I-2.
So if you really want something interesting, Kevin Lawrence posted a photo earlier today of some contrails.
No, it's not where you go.
And contrails are the condensation from the jet streaks after they pass by.
I believe
And-
the proper term is chemtrails.
Well, you see, that's where he brought out all of the crazies in the comment section. Apparently, there were hundreds of crazy people going in there and doing that. And then he was explaining it with meteorological science as to why the clouds develop to begin with because of literally condensation, which is why they are contrails, condensation trails from the conversion that the jets make in the atmosphere. But then also why they're not dissipating and really disappearing because of the high moisture content in the atmosphere after we set a record high of 88 degrees today in Bismarck.
But it's the mind control spray that they're spraying over the country.
The one that I love, the one comment that I love in the comment section is, would they really be spraying if right now, since the government is shut down? Like, and even people I've argued with in person, I'm like, the literal just setup of everything that everybody would need to have, from commercial airlines to the private jets to the government planes. Somebody in each cog of the airport, in every airport where they're flying the planes from, would have to be aware of the chemicals that are there to load onto the plane or even spray bars on any plane apparatus that is flying over the country at any given time. And somebody somewhere would know something, and we can't kill all of those people because there aren't enough of them to continue working at all the airports.
A kidder, they disguise it in the de-icer. They feed it right into the engines. The people that are doing it don't even know.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
Okay.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah. All right. Let's kick this off.
I had to give the pup some love because when you were talking about Finn, she thought you were calling her over because that's her name. So when you were talking about Finn earlier, she kept like, "Is it me? Is it me?" And I was like, "No, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you."
Damn it, Derek.
I'm sorry. Make sure you give Finn some extra pets for me.
Oh no, she's good now. But she was like sitting there, she's like, "Am I in? Am I not in?" I was like, "No, you're not in." So